Hello, everyone. How are you? It's Monday, August 4th. Moving right along. Cheers, everyone. Thank you for your support on Bandcamp Friday. For a minute on Friday, I was thinking, well, I guess that's over. It was at first there was hardly any response, and then towards the end of Friday, people came through. Thank you. It really makes a difference. I'm also pleased that I, sold some physical merchandise, including an RAF album. And thank you. Thank you, Sean Ward, for having me on your radio show last night for a quick minute. And thank you for playing my music. I thought for a minute he was going to play one of the folk songs, but I didn't provide him with a file. He didn't ask for one, so I just assumed that he would just play it up of the internet, off of YouTube, but he didn't, but that's fine. So let's go there. Thank you for your response and for listening to Higgins 12 folk songs number 1 and 2. I noticed that my numbers on my music uploads are not near as high as when I just talk. I'd really like to encourage you folks who don't think you're interested in my music to give it a listen. The project with Otis 12. Well, look at the comments. It's powerful. People get it. People get it, and there's more to come. And we're floating the idea of making an actual video for the Vivian Strong piece. Someone mentioned the 60s, and that's exactly right. We are doing a thing like Ken Nordine did, the famous talking head who had the real deep voice like Otis and did jazz poetry. That's the spirit that we're working in. Before I show some records, the other thing I'd like to say is I see where people are really knocked out by or impressed, or however you say, with the collaboration, with the mix of the music in relation to the voice, the words, the content. Well, thank you, folks. I produced that and very consciously produced it. And if you think that music is good, you really need to check out my other music. When one of the purchases that someone made on Friday, they left me a note saying that they wished that I would play more guitar and bass. Well, here's your answer. I'm playing real bass on folk song number 1. I'm playing real guitar on folk song number 2. But the other thing I want to say is that I love working with digital audio workstations. I really like the sound of the virtual instruments. They don't sound fake. And I like the precision of making things fit together. I think that some of you folks are missing that. I also think that it's fairly typical where people really latch onto the voice. Otis has a hell of a voice, but don't miss my music. I think, again, so much wonderful music is just background noise to people because they're not listening. I want you to listen. That's what I do. Make it for. I make it for me to listen to. So before I show some records, I am activated. I have four new pieces of music I'm working on. Tough all weekend. I'm loving what I'm doing. Am I working specifically for the Mike Watt project? No, that has to happen naturally. And these four new pieces are again in the digital domain because I really like working like that with the keyboard. I'm excited by the new pieces that have come to me. So that's a big part of what I did for the weekend was I worked every day this weekend on brand new pieces of music. So to talk about music, I don't know how many folks know this, but we've lost some more people that are important to me in the music world. Eric Braun, the guitarist who was only 17 when they recorded this, has passed away. Eric Braun of Iron Butterfly. Eric Brand. I'm a member of the Iron Butterfly Appreciation Society, and Doug Engel, the organist who passed away from Iron Butterfly, his son is a friend of mine. And so that's how I found out, because I haven't seen any news. I've seen no news about Eric Brand. And this is a history-making album, and I got it at Vita. This was this the first million seller? Something like that. It's a great album. I saw Iron Butterfly, but by the time I saw them, the only original member was Ron Bushy, the drummer. But I did get to see him, and I didn't specifically grab my Iron Butterfly collection. I have a few more. This one popped out. Eric Brand's not on this one, but I love this Iron Butterfly album. This is, I think, really good. Metamorphosis, Butterfly Blue. I think this album is killer, actually. One of those, I think, forgotten gems of hard rock. They were going through changes with Mike Pinera and another guitar player on here, Rhino. Pinera and Rhino. This is really good, though. Another person worth mentioning in the music and arts world is Robert Wilson, passed away. And I'm familiar with his work and his most noticed. Let me get a sip. Yeah, I'm slurping. His most famous work was Philip Glass, Einstein on the Beach. And this is a head scratcher. I still don't know what this is about. You know, it's hard to listen to. It's considered an opera. 4 records. It's been performed on stage, and there's video of it. I actually started to watch it online, and then I got caught up in work. I love that when that happens. I did play records this weekend. Not too many did I play all the way through, but I'll show you because I have a stack here and I want to put them away. Yeah, so thank you for showing support for the channel. Also, if you go and you see that there is a commercial at the beginning of any of my videos, I see they slapped one on folk song number 2. I'm not getting paid for that. I don't want those commercials. I'm not monetized, because when you monetize, they censor you. But since I don't own YouTube, they do whatever the fuck they want. And when they think, I don't know why they decide to put commercials on my videos, but I've noticed that in the past. I'll go back and see. I don't, I guess they think they're going to make some money off of it. I guess. But check out Higgins 12. More to come. I have two more poems by Otis. Haven't started working on them yet because he's not sure he's done with the poems. And what I discovered with Folk Song 1 and 2, he gave them to me in print first, but I wasn't inspired until I heard his voice as to what to do. Now, someone in the comments was asking for someone to post the lyrics. It's not lyrics; it's poetry. Okay, and I've done my part. So no, I'm not writing out all the poem. Listen closely. You can hear what he's saying. If somebody else wants to listen and write the poem out for the person, that's fine, but I'm not going to. So let's jump into what got played. Today is a typical tinnitus day. The weekend was fantastic, though. Both Saturday and Sunday were relatively quiet days. And so that was partly why I worked so much, because it was optimum time to work. But I listened to some music. I listened to all of one side of this, Chris McGregor's Brotherhood of Breath live at Willisau. And as you know, we recently lost the drummer Louis Maholo. I believe Louis is African. And this is some, again, very powerful stuff. It has an identity. There's a freeness to but it is, excuse me, there are heads, but there's a lot of loose free playing. This music has a power and identity of its own, and it's really strong, really good. Excuse me. All free jazz doesn't sound the same. This is really good. I kind of forgot I had this. I listened to most of this. My backup stylus arrived, and it turns out that these are actually manufactured by the company called LP Gear. And just to write quick about that, very pleased. Loving playing records. I had played that Belp electronic record a few days ago that the low frequencies made the needle jump, because I don't like to put unnecessary weight on my turntable arm. And I thought about it, so I pulled it and played it on my other turntable in the living room, which is a Pioneer, really good turntable, high quality, and it played fine. So that needle, I know, is great, but it's also a high quality constructed turntable. It's old, real heavy direct drive. It had no problem. So I brought it back in here, and as I was by picking up the tone arm and putting it down on that particular spot, I could hear where it's really vibrating. So it's not that there's a problem with this turntable or that it's cheap. It's anyway. On with the music. This is wonderful. Really, really wonderful. David Sylvian with Stephen Matthieu. Wander Mood. This is all instrumental. There's that word, ambient. It fits. I love this. two sides of it just flowed. Sweet. Really sweet. David Sylvian plays a lot of guitar on here, if I get that right. Really nice. Real nice. I like that cover too. Wander Mood by Matthieu. Excuse me, Matthieu and David Sylvian. Really good. So I pulled this. One of my records of the year of, was it 2023? It was 2024. Because it's 2023. So, excuse me, Slow Dive in the Rain were two of my albums of the year 2 years ago. I Killed Your Dog. And this is killer. I listened to all of side one. I wasn't fooled. I know what I like. I love that color. This is really good, and boy, is it recorded well. And it's a good pressing too. That is so much fun to play. Okay, what happened? Okay. That is so much fun when I drop the needle and the sound quality is big and pristine. I love it. I can understand how audiophile listeners can be really into how good something sounds and want to listen to certain records just because they sound so good. For example, Steely Dan's Asia, which I don't have anymore. I've had several copies. I actually had a red vinyl copy when it first came out. Should have kept it. People often cite that album as a audiophile record to play on good stereos. I would agree it's one, but there's many others that fit the bill. Played this Olivia Block, The Mountains Pass. This is really good. I had to look it up to try to figure out how to describe the music, because on the one hand, the first side I listened to, Northward and the Hermit's Peak, they're songs, but they're so atmospheric and open and not directly songs, although she's singing, that it comes across like deep. It's deep listening. This is deep listening material. Olivia Block. This is really good and recorded just when I notice how well it's recorded and cut, I have to say so. This sounded tremendous. It was a joy to listen to it. So yeah, this was that electronic album I was telling you about with the extreme low frequencies, where it does a swoop where it goes from a way low frequency up to a high, and it just really challenges the cut. But this is good. Belp. Crocodile is the name of that. Needed to hear this again. I'm liking it. At first I was thinking, I don't like this as much as their earlier albums, but I really like Hot Chip, and this has come into focus for me. This is their last album. They have a new one coming out, Greatest Hits of all things, Freak Out Release. I've seen Hot Chip twice, I think. No, once. Really good band. Those are some white boys that can really make a groove. Joe Goddard, I enjoy watching him with this kind of plump behind. He knows how to make those beats that make the booty shake. I like Hot Chip a lot. Cheers, people. I wanted to see about, because I talked about the low. This is they did the different colored vinyl Bowie reissues in the early. This was 2020. Yeah. Corso again. I'd have recorded a lot of Bowie's records differently. I love this album though, TBC 15, and I finally got up the nerve to put this on because it's difficult to listen to Black Star by David Bowie, but I listened to most of this yesterday, and this is really good. I do think that it was I think that it was a flaw on their part to package the vinyl in this. It didn't come with that protection. It came like this, and as a result, I think a lot of the records probably got damaged. Mine is noisy. I think it's because of the way it was packaged with that plastic. But even on his dying bed, David Bowie was vital. This is really good. He makes good use of that band that he used on this album. Sue or In a Season of Crime is a standout. This is really good. I'm glad I got to the point because when he died, it was hard to listen to it. Even harder to watch those videos that he made, showing us that he's dying. Played some of this, Stomping Techno, Progress by Alexander Kowalski. This is that banger type of techno on the compact. Is it compact? No, it's one of those type of German labels. You know, Berlin became like Detroit is where techno started. Berlin just really embraced it. So I think of Berlin when I think of this sort of. I don't play stuff like this much, but again, it had to do with wanting to check out how it sounded sonically with the new needle, and it's just killer. It's very interesting how the needle and the cartridge combined, the low end, the full frequency is bigger than it was. It really is. I had turned myself onto this artist, Fire Toolz. Somehow came across this person's videos, and I don't know how the person identifies, male, female, trans, I don't know. But they come across like that's probably an issue for them. This is hyper creative. Musically, I like it a lot. The screamo vocals and the weird lyrics, I don't know what's going on there. But this person is obviously very, very creative. Rainbow Bridge is the name of this album. And their videos are real fantastical. Almost like video games on acid. Blue vinyl. But I got into this in spite of the weird screamy vocals, which are mixed way inside of the music. It's good. It's weird. Young people doing crazy things. This sort of expression didn't exist when I was a kid. Old favorite here, Wayne Shorter's Atlantis. And this is a example recorded way back in 85, 86, mastered by Bernie Grundman. Ah, I see now. That's why this sounds so damn good. You know, the in-groove. Kevin Gray and Bernie Grundman, those are two of his tops for mastering. He talks about, well, he knows what he's talking about. This is wonderful. It's not fusion. It's not straight jazz. That's what I love about music. It's like it's Wayne Shorter music. And the personnel on here are just awesome. You know, besides having known jazz players, Michael Honig, formerly of Tangerine Dream, and Agitation Free plays on this album, along with Ralph Humphrey on drums. This is a killer album. This is one of my favorite Wayne Shorter albums. One of them. It's fantastic. I was over in the R's playing some Terge Ripped. All those are put away, but this is still out. I wanted to talk about it. Ruphus. Flying Colors. Jazz rock from Europe, possibly Norway. I know that Terge Riptol produced one of their albums. Not this one, I don't think. A pleasant musical band, but they have the female vocals back when people thought that kind of raspy, almost sounds like a cat sound. People thought it was soulful, like the singer of Savage Rose and Lydia Pence of Cold Blood. I find those vocals very annoying, but musically this is nice. Nice. Sensations Fix, but a solo album by Franco Falsini, the leader of the band Sensations Fix. Cold Nose. This is a soundtrack to a short film, which I actually have. Fanta Biblical. This is good stuff. A bit like Pink Floyd. I'm going to go till I'm done. I had been needing to revisit this album. Cohelmec Ensemble. Hippo Tigris Zebra. I believe they're from French. Yes. They were inspired to do this after hearing Ornette Coleman's Free Jazz, and this was recorded a while back. Can't see, but this is kind of so-so. Okay, honestly, this is an example where the people are working in an idiom that they're enthralled to, but they haven't quite got it yet. But again, I need to listen to this some more. This is one where it's like I took it off. It was like, okay, this is not taking off, so I'm taking it off. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have its merits. I just have to come back to it. Now here's an album I was thinking about. I wonder if this sounds as good as I remembered, and it does. Michel Colombier, Wings, very much like a Quincy Jones production. Excuse me. Herb Alpert produced this. They tell the story of how this album came about because Michel Colombier came to America as Petula Clark's music director and arranger, and Herb Alpert heard his work, which is very good. He's done movies too, and that's how this album came about. It's a bit of a concept album, and it's got several different people on it. Everyone from Bill Medley of the Righteous Brothers to Paul Williams. Herb Alpert actually sings on here. This is fantastic. It's orchestral. It's big, really well recorded for the time. This is early 70s. And my older brother James turned me into this album. I think this is an undiscovered, I almost want to call it a classic. For my collection, I have two versions of this. This was reissued with a crappy cover, but I bought it. It's so good. Michel Colombier, Wings. Fantastic, okay? I can just really just kind of rev up on this. You haven't heard this, have you? This is amazing. It's one of those albums where I get my attitude about people listening to just stuff, junk, because it's shoved in your face and then you think it's good, but you don't get a chance to hear that, and that's high quality. Speaking of high quality, I had to listen to some more Richard Barbieri. This man is badass. He's working in an area similar to John Hassel. John Hassel with his Fourth World music. And Richard Barbieri actually has a synthesizer patch setting that he did for Roland that is based on John Hassel's sound. I use it. I've used it a few times. This album is amazing because it's recorded pristine, cut, monster good, and it's live. I just when the audience starts clapping at the end, it's like, holy shit, this is live. Again, an example of an artist known for Japan and Porcupine Tree. Folks, if you're wanting some high quality, deep listening material, here it is. Variants 1 and 2. Wow, that sounded good. And this sounded great too. I love this band. I played both of the main albums, and there's an extra album of outtakes and stuff. Stereo Sound, Emperor Tomato Ketchup. I remember the video for the song Noise of Carpet, which caught my attention. Of course, I knew about the band already by then. They did a wonderful job of reissuing all their albums, deluxe, and this is one. Stereolab, I think, is wonderful. Now, Cold Blood. This came about because there's a channel that I watch, Elmo's something. He's a drummer, and he's had some great guests. His latest guest is Narada Michael Walden. Just finished watching part 2 of the interview. Fantastic interview. Michael Narada Walden's spirit and energy are really high. Really like that man, and I like his work. And he still has his adolescent enthusiasm for music that I relate to, because that's still alive in me. So at one point in the interview, he's talking about drummers and stuff, and he brings up Sandy. Nobody ever talks about this cat. What's his name? Sandy McKee. I said, ooh, Sandy McKee, the drummer from Cold Blood, San Francisco band. This album is boss. Sisyphus. Another one that my older brother James turned me on to because it's so funky. Here's another one of those examples of the white female singer who has a kind of a raspy, almost Janis Joplin approach. She gets a pass. She's pretty good. It's not as nail-biting as, like, for example, the Ruphus singer. I couldn't stand her vocals. Lydia Pence is badass. But this album, beat to hell because it's been played so much, it opens up with a killer instrumental, Shop Talk. Come on now, some of you people know what I'm talking about, right? Some of you old school funksters. Maybe not. Find out. It killed me when Narada brought up this album. I said, of all things, Narada is plugged in. I love his work. I have some of his solo stuff because it's so energetic. Almost done here. I had to play this reissue of Ferment by Catherine Will. This is one of my favorite albums. I love that David Hawes is a friend. This album is killer. And yeah, the reissue version, real nice cut. Ferment. This is a favorite. Too good. Too good. That's why they didn't make it. They're too good. Isn't that sad? To be so good that you're too good. Played this. That album that I was about to show, I haven't played yet. The Smile, Cutouts, their latest album. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Music and words and production and artwork. all around. This is really like what these guys do. Ripped All is out. Waves. This is a killer album. I didn't play it though. And then the other thing that I did, and some of them are still out, is I played all of the Can live albums. Not all every side, but I just played something from all of them. And these are still sitting out. Live in Stuttgart. Live in Paris. This one is really good. With Damo on vocals. And the last things that got played in these last few days, because I have really been enjoying this new needle. The Stickman album, Tentacles. This is very good. King Crimson. You like King Crimson? This is it. This is it. I'm going to show it because it's sort of nice colored vinyl. This is real good. Tony Levin leading the pack. Very good. When I first heard it, I was less... It didn't come into focus. I've listened to this several times now. This is real good. The King Crimson School. Put the stuff away. Last thing to show is this. I'm gonna keep this. It's the Flaming Lips, but it's a side project called. Is it Electric Mouse? I think that's what it says. Electric Mouse. They do Heart of the Sunrise by Yes on here. And not in a jokey matter at all. They do it for real. And they do it good. And this is, like the cover suggests, it's real heady. Like that double album they put out, Heady Friends. Psychedelic, you know. Head music. Ooh, look at the time. See, that's what happens when I just keep going. Folks, I want to thank you very much for your support on Bandcamp Friday. I even sold an RAF album. I've still got RAF CDs. And please, folks, if you're interested in my music, don't wait till the Bandcamp Fridays. Just buy it. Please, that money makes a difference. It does. It makes a difference. Family, I saw that there was more earthquakes. Nothing big, but stay safe, folks. My sister Adrian and Floyd, they're on Disney cruise. They're on a cruise ship, and part of why they're there is because it's a Disney cruise, and part of the cruise is a feature about Floyd Norman. That's just fantastic. I love it. Okay, folks. As always, talk to me. Stay in touch.